My country of origin is Nigeria, but I presently live in Tokyo, Japan. These two countries are worlds apart in terms of development and advancement. We all know that is true. However, I'm interested in the future. I'm interested to know what the future holds for developing countries like mine, most of which are in Africa, by the way. I've thought about this question for a while, so I would like to share my thoughts in this video. I want you to look at this image because this will be the basis of my discussion in this video. This image shows the classification of countries to developed, developing, and least developed countries by the International Monetary Fund called IMF. You can see here that most least developed countries are in Africa, with some few exceptions in Asia. Japan, according to this map, is a developed country, and rightly so, while Nigeria, my country of origin, is a developing country. This is debatable, but let us go with this classification for now. There is still a continued debate about what age we are in right now, or whether we have transitioned out of the information age yet. So until there is an agreement on the best nomenclature to use, I will refer to this present age and the one after as a post-information age. There is so much going on in the world right now in terms of technology and the advancements on various cutting edge. So I would say that we are in a transition phase where we are not really sure what is coming next. Recently, I wrote a post on Medium about 7 technologies you need to learn about if you want to be relevant in 10 years time. I think you should check that post in order to understand exactly what I'm talking about here. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video about this. As all these are going on, many countries like mine have been left in the dust in terms of contributions. I'm going to share some images with you that should make a well-meaning and visionary African sad. Yeah, the first image here is the map of the world about cities that are getting ready for the self-driving cars. You can see that there is none so far in Africa. I can bring up many maps about upcoming technologies like this, and it will be pretty much the same. Many African nations are not yet ready for emerging technologies. And this image is from Bloomberg, by the way. I'm going to list every of my sources in the description so you can check them out after seeing this video. The next map is a map from space showing light pollution. While this is an image that shows some concern for a lot of astronomers, I see something different here. Africa is the darkest part of the continent in terms of light, and this tells how much electrification that we have in Africa right now. Basically, about 68% of Africans are still without power. Electrification is still an issue in many African countries, sadly. My personal experience was while I was living in Nigeria, if there was uninterrupted power supply for 3 days in a row, I would feel uneasy because in my subconscious, you know that you are experiencing something unusual. At some point, you'll be asking yourself, if this goes on for too long, why is there no power outage yet? Is everything okay? Is everything all right? This is the kind of experience that I had back then when I was living in Nigeria. And I can say with authority that this has not really changed from 5 years ago. It's still almost the same thing. There are so many parts of Nigeria right now that cannot boast of a 24-hour uninterrupted power supply, which is very sad. Now, the next map is a map from 2015 about the world internet users as a percentage of the country's population. Some African countries you can see here like Nigeria, South Africa, and most of the North African countries, they are waking up, but generally the internet usage in Africa is still abysmal compared to the rest of the world. This is another image I want to show you. This is a map of the world showing Nobel Prize winners by country. Do you see any pattern here at all? The total number of Nobel Prize winners from all the countries of Africa is less than that of Canada. This simply shows how much knowledge Africa is contributing to the world as at today. This is very sad also to me as an academic, and it's hard to see that we are not actually contributing so much to the world. These are all statistics from the past. Well, that's the point of this video. What does the future hold if we have to extrapolate from these images to the future? Before I discuss that, I want you to see one more image that might give a good backdrop to this. The next image is about every country's highest valued export. Something important here is that the developing countries mostly export raw materials while the developed countries export finished product. This is kind of the status quo right now, but there's an hidden message here. Africa's natural resource feeds the world's advancement. Secondly, it shows that the capacity of a country to convert our raw materials to finished product shows a level of advancement in that country. And so you would see that the countries that are more advanced are the countries that can convert raw materials into finished products. So now, talking about what the post-information age holds, I can only give conditional speculations. If the situation continues the way it is right now, it means developing countries will continue to be what they are, that is, developing, and our resources will continue to feed the advancement in the developed countries. Secondly, we might be seeing a second wave of colonization, which many believe has already started. The developed countries right now have the power to indirectly control the fate of many developing countries through media, political and monetary policies, capitalistic tendencies, and a full throttle move for globalization. Through the internet, many Africans know what is happening in other countries, but little can be said of other countries toward Africa, or at least they have a distorted image about Africans and African countries. However, I have hope that we can be more than just developing. The following are some reasons that I have this hope. First of all, Africa is young in terms of demography and might as well become the workforce of the future. This is both good and bad. The reason is that because of technologies like artificial intelligence, the nature of work is moving away from mass workforce to a smart or intelligent workforce. What we focus on right now in Africa will determine which side we will fall in the future. Secondly, the world is running out of food, but this is neglecting the impact of Africa's arable land. More than 25% of the land in most African countries are arable and good for agriculture. I think Africa will supply the food to the world in the future. Soon we are going to realize that we cannot keep sending our raw materials and importing finished products. We are going to be the makers and producers. We will use our own technology and export the finished product. Currently, Africa still supplies most of the world's essential resources and precious metals. If only these resources can be self-controlled and the proceeds go back to the communities where these resources are gotten. Correcting this would take more than just willpower and brute force. We need strategy and long-term planning. Also, given the leftover effect of many years of colonialism that still sees most of African resources controlled by outside forces, this is going to be an arduous task. There is more to say, but the focus on only one of the above has potential to turn around the fate of many African countries. However, are we moving in the right direction? This question is hard to answer, but there are some indicators which I think might be pointing to some future trend. According to a study by Pew Research Center, immigrants from sub-Saharan Africa earn more than immigrants from Mexico, Caribbean, Central America in the United States. Currently, Kenya is leading the world in the world's mobile technology. We might be seeing a true financial revolution starting and taking place first in Africa, because presently in some parts of Kenya, a lot of people do not use cash money. All monetary transactions are done through a cell phone. There is rise in international education by students from developing nations. A research in 2008 showed that Nigerians are the most educated in the US. Generally, this is more like a migration problem, but I think we are going to make good use of these opportunities in the future. On the technological front, the year 2019 was a record-breaking one for African tech startups, with more than 300 companies securing up to $500 million worth of investment. The next global tech company might as well come from Africa, and this makes me more excited. Ghana is currently or planning to build a high-speed rail system throughout the country, which is the first in many to come in many African countries right now. We can see many developments coming up in many African countries, though it's slow, but is moving more steadily than before. But to answer the question of what happens in the post-information age, I think we are going to see an unprecedented embrace of technology from Africa like never before. In summary, we will surpass expectations. But of course, we must keep working. We need massive human capital investment. We need a trade explosion between African countries, not just between African countries and countries from other continents, but between African countries within Africa. We need to start and focus focus on converting our natural resources into finished products. This is the true self-empowerment that I think we need to focus on. And African countries need, or African leaders, they need to create an enabling environment for people who would like to do something even in the country. We might be late, but I think we can catch up. There's so much in stock for Africa, and I think most developing countries alike, they're going to come up in the next decade or two. This is what I've been thinking about on this topic. If you like the content in this video, like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so that you can get notifications from me when I release a new video. Until the next one, see you. Peace.